Right. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am recording this on my phone because I tried to record it earlier on my camcorder, and for some reason when I went to edit it, it keeps skipping. And I don't know if it's my camcorder or my SD card, but I didn't want to have to run out and buy a new SD card, so I'm just recording it on my phone. This is just going to be like a sit-down talk video. I will show a clip at the end of my bump. I am huge right now. I am 33 weeks pregnant and out of breath, and this is not a flattering view, but you know, whatever, I don't care. I wanted to make this video, so here we go. Pregnant, and I wanted to do a quick bump date comparison video of my first two pregnancies to this pregnancy, which is my third, and just talk about how my pregnancy has gone up to this point. First trimester was miserable. I was in a really good mood. I had really good spirits. I didn't complain a lot. I definitely had a worse experience with Hallie and Hank. I was so moody with them, and this time my mood has been good, but my immune system was shot. My morning sickness was outrageous. So with Hallie, I had a lot of morning sickness, but it would like hit me. I would get nauseous, I would vomit, it'd be done. I would move on with life until like an hour or so later and it would hit me again. With Hank, only ever rarely did I ever even feel nauseous. This baby, I felt nauseous all the time. I wore C-bands, I smelled peppermint oil, I tried eating crackers when I would first wake up, sipping on ginger ale or Sprite. Nothing helped. I was sick all the time. On top of that, I was sick all the time, like got colds and sinus infections. I got the stomach flu at one point, and I wasn't sure it was the stomach flu, except for Hank also got it, so it was definitely the stomach flu, and I was just sick all of my first trimester. I really wasn't that tired. I didn't like lose my energy that much, but I was just sick all the time. So really, that was a completely different experience for me, to be in a good mood but be sick, versus my other pregnancies where I was in a really, really bad mood, but I wasn't that sick, or I would get sick and move on from life but still be in a bad mood and be so tired. With Hallie, I was so tired. So that was my first trimester. Other notes about my first trimester is that I talked to my doctor about cleft lip, because my son was a cleft lip, and the chances increase if you've had a cleft lip child. You are 3 to 5% more likely to have another child with a cleft lip. So we talked about that, and he brought up a gene mutation where your body doesn't absorb folic acid, and folic acid is really, really key in the cranial development of a fetus or a baby when you are pregnant. So he wanted to test me for the gene mutation before we picked what kind of prenatal I went on. Sure enough, I have the gene mutation. Not only do I have it, but I have a double gene mutation. I got one mutation from my mom and one from my dad. They're the same mutation on the same gene, but it is double. I cannot absorb folic acid, and that converts into B6, which is responsible for energy. Most B vitamins help with your energy level, and I'm already vitamin B12 deficient, so now I'm also B6 deficient, and that is part of the reason why I'm tired all the time. But we got it figured out, and so I have to take a prenatal that has folate, because my body can absorb folate, which is the genuine form of folic acid. We have tried to make it easier for our bodies to absorb folic acid and broken it down already into folic acid for us in most of our vitamins. But for me, I can't absorb that. I have to have the folate. So I am on a prenatal that has folate instead, and that kind of knocks me back to having the normal chances of a cleft lip baby. I had low progesterone, which I had with Hallie and Hank, and I had to supplement. This time was a little more scary because I started taking the supplement, went and got my second test, and it came back an even lower level than it was the first time. And so that was like really scary moment for me, because progesterone is responsible for keeping the egg implanted into your uterine wall. If the egg is not implanted, if they are not attached to your uterine wall, then there's no baby. Like, there's no life. They can't survive without being attached. They will die. So that was a scary moment for me, but I just had to double supplement, and then my levels went up. And then once first trimester is over, you no longer have to supplement. Progesterone isn't as important after you get through the first trimester. So I had ultrasounds every single appointment throughout my first trimester to make sure that the baby was growing, there was a heartbeat, it was still implanted, and they kept checking my levels. So that was my first trimester. Moving on to second trimester. Second trimester, I got off of the supplement progesterone. I continued taking my folate prenatal. My morning sickness has went away completely, and I just felt good. I had a really good second trimester. Like, I felt great all the time. I definitely transitioned from the she just looks pudgy fat girl into she's definitely pregnant, has a bump in my second trimester. But I was able to get around. I was doing things. I was keeping up with the house. I was keeping up with my kids. I was just feeling good. Now, fast forward to where I'm at now, third trimester. Well, technically, last week of my second trimester, 27 weeks hit, and all of a sudden, I just like declined. My mood, I have been more down and having anxiety since week 27. I have been exhausted, like, all the time. Like, I'm up for maybe an hour or two, and then I'm ready to take a nap. And I can't always do that. Obviously, that's just not how life works, especially when you're a mom already. And when you work, you can't just take a nap whenever you want. So, I have been so tired since 27 weeks. I've gotten bigger since 27 weeks. And my mood has changed a lot since 27 weeks. So that has been rough. I have had hip pain. The baby, I can feel them moving down like already in my pelvic area. And when they move, I feel it like outwardly right on top of my pelvic area. I can feel it. And I can just tell like they are moving down low quickly. But they also move up, so I don't know if it's just because my uterus is stretched out and they have lots of room because this is my third baby, but they will be up in my ribs one moment, and then a little bit later they will be down in my pelvic area, and it drives me crazy. And my hips have been hurting, and it's just been a rough third trimester. I feel like for the most part I've still been in a good mood. I've tried not to complain. I've tried to stay positive, but it's definitely taking a toll on me mentally and physically now that I am here. So I thought I was having restless leg syndrome, but it was only in my right leg, and it was only from my hip to my knee. And then it started in my arm, my shoulder, and then down it was having that same kind of like tingly, numb pain, and it started freaking me out. So I went to the doctor this week and cried like a lunatic, because this week on Monday it was so bad. The weird sensation going through my thigh and going down my arm and even like in my side a little bit was so intense, and I could not control it. I could not make it stop. It was driving me crazy. My anxiety was through the roof. I just felt like I was not in control of my own body, and I cried like a baby at my doctor's office. And it wasn't because I thought anything was wrong with me or the baby. I knew we were healthy. And I was like trying to convey that to my doctor, like, I know nothing's wrong. I don't know why I'm crying. And he's explaining what's going on with my body in a perfectly reasonable way, a way that makes sense. He's explaining like the baby's pushing on my sciatic nerve, which makes sense. I've had sciatic pain in the past, and that's where it is. It comes from my back down my butt in between my hip and my knee, and it's like in my thigh area. And so he said he just thinks it's like an atypical pain rather than being like a sharp pain. He thinks I'm having this like pulling pain, and that it's just an atypical sciatic pain. Makes sense completely for where it's at. He said he also thinks, because I had I don't know if it's a complaint, notified earlier that, you know, this is the first pregnancy I've ever had any swelling. It's not in my feet at all. It's just in my hands and my wrists. And he said that that is probably what's going on with my arm, is that I am having swelling in my upper extremities, and it's probably pushing on a nerve or cutting off some circulation, and I'm getting that falling asleep, numb, tingling pain in my arm. And that's why sometimes I just feel the arm sensation, sometimes I just feel the leg sensation, sometimes I feel both. So, makes total sense. Regardless of the fact that it made sense though, I could not control myself. I was crying like crazy. It was so embarrassing, and I knew nothing was wrong. I knew I was being irrational. I just could not help myself. I cried and cried. I had no control over my emotions. And that's kind of how the last 2 weeks has been. I have been out of control of my emotions. I have the emotional maturity of like a 4-year-old. Everything is just like putting me over the edge and making me want to cry and making me irritable and angry. And there's no real reason for it. It's like all little stuff that I can handle, especially at 28. I can handle it. But it's just hormones. That's all I can say is my hormones are crazy right now, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm dealing with it the best I can. In my brain just keep saying, be positive, be productive. You only have 7-ish weeks left, probably less because you tend to go early. Anyway, so that's been my 3rd trimester. So far, I am having doctor's appointments every 2 weeks. I don't know if this next one will be like the last one before I go to 1 week, because I'll be 34 weeks and 5 days at that point. So he will definitely see me right at the beginning of my 36th week. So he might just have me come back in like a week and 2 days when I hit 36 weeks, or he might have me come back like just 1 week later, right before I'm 36 weeks, or I don't know. We'll find out when I go. I have a baby shower a week from tomorrow. My family is being very sweet, and even though it's my 3rd baby, they are throwing me a baby shower, so I'm really looking forward to that. And as soon as my baby shower is over, I am so excited to pack my hospital bag. And then I plan to do a what's in my hospital bag video. I will probably go shopping this week for like my personal toiletries and stuff, pads, underwear, that kind of stuff that I want for me. I plan to do a gender prediction video, which I will probably force Nate to be a part of. I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. But where you just go through all the old wives' tales and take a tally of what gender it says your baby is. I'm really excited to do this because we are not finding out the gender of our baby. And then after that video, hopefully will be the birth of our baby. So that is my next 3 videos I have planned. Whether they all happen like that, I don't know. Life is unpredictable. I'm so excited to be having this baby, and that everything has went so well up to this point. I just pray that I can keep my emotions in check for the most part and continue doing a good job as a wife and a mom and employee up until the baby comes. I am definitely going to try my hardest. Last thing I wanted to talk about, so I saved this for the end because it's kind of fun and kind of embarrassing and TMI. So if you don't want to hear TMI stuff, you can stop watching now. If you do or don't mind, I watch Maggie Rose. She's a few weeks ahead of me in her pregnancy. So I've been watching her channel just because it's fun, because we're around the same time and she's always like a couple weeks ahead. So I just watched her 34-week bump date. And one of the questions she had in it was, have you had any embarrassing pregnancy symptoms? So I thought I would share my embarrassing pregnancy symptoms because I just have no shame. I don't have any other reason other than that. So, one embarrassing pregnancy symptom, not that I'm embarrassed by it, because I never have been, and if you know me, I don't mind farting in public. It's whatever. I just do it. Everybody does it. Everybody has gas. But when I'm pregnant, my farts reek. They smell so bad, and I have gas all the time. It's ridiculous. Like, my kids in the car are like, oh, Mom, and like, cannot stand it. Nate will roll the window down. It's so funny to me. I don't normally have very stinky farts, but during this pregnancy, they have been really, really bad. I can see like a hair right here. I don't know what's going on. Sorry if that's been bugging you all video. I couldn't tell until just now. Another embarrassing thing that happened was I got a really bad cough in my second trimester and had no control over my bladder. I was like literally being a baby. I would cough and pee my pants to the point that I changed my underwear and my shorts and like washed myself off a couple times, and then I was like, I can't keep changing clothes. What if I'm not at home when this happens? Because it wasn't like a little bit. It was like I full on peed my pants. So I bought some pads and some baby wipes and carried them around in my purse and wore a pad all the time for like the 3.5 weeks I had this really bad cough, because I was literally peeing my pants. So I had to change myself like I was a baby. I brought wipes with me everywhere and changed out my pads all the time during that. And that was pretty embarrassing that I had no control over my bladder. Since the cough has been gone, I've been fine. Back in control. Haven't peed myself. I do have some stretch marks. I don't think they're new. I have a lot of stretch marks from Hallie and Hank. And I don't think this is necessarily embarrassing. I know some women hate them. They don't bother me. They're whatever, they're stretch marks. But I definitely have some points like on my belly right now where you can tell my stretch marks are going further. They're very red at like the end and obviously are going to stretch further up or down. But I don't think I really have any new ones. I think my ones that I have already are just getting worse. So that one's not really embarrassing, but I put it in this category anyways. Guys, my armpit hair and leg hair is growing at a rapid pace and I can't stand it. Literally, I could shave like twice a day. It's not normal for me. I don't know if it's my prenatal vitamin or just the way my hormones are right now during this pregnancy or what, but I literally could shave my armpits twice a day and still have like stubble by the end of the day. I am editing my video and I just thought of another embarrassing thing that I forgot to put. Around 20 weeks, I started leaking colostrum and have been ever since. 20 weeks, people, like, that's really early. I guess my body is prepared and knows I'm going to be nursing, but it's weird. I mean, I just wasn't expecting it to happen that early. So that is another little embarrassing thing that's happened so far and I've had to deal with for the last 13 weeks so far, and I will obviously have to deal with for like the next year because I'm going to be nursing. It won't be colostrum at that point, it'll be full on milk, but still. Alright, on that note, I am going to shoot a bump shot. I'm in a dress and I'm not putting pants on, but I'm not showing you my underwear either. I just went and grabbed my boxers. Well, they used to be Nate's, but Nate doesn't wear boxers anymore. They're just boys. He's not a boy. They're men's boxer shorts, and I wear them to sleep in all the time. So I wore them to sleep last night, and when I decided to wear this dress today for my bump date, I just didn't take them off yet. So I will have on boxer shorts so that you're not seeing my underwear with my dress, because I do believe in modesty, and that's just the most I'm okay with you seeing is me in boxer shorts. But I will go reposition myself not on the bed where I can stand up and show my bump, and then that will be the end of this video. Thanks for watching. There's my bump. My very cool shorts I got going on. Definitely expanding stretch marks, and I have plenty, so whatever. It is what it is. And then this side, I definitely feel like they have already started to lower, which is weird, but yeah. So there's my bump, guys. That is my bump, and it's huge. Oh, other embarrassing thing is, now that I'm in my final stretch, as I like to say, the last like 10 weeks, I consider the final stretch, my nose is starting to swell. It always gets big at the end. I hate that. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Well, I won't see you, but you'll see me. And I hope that you continue to live awkwardly and love life. Bye, guys. So, that is... Ooh, I think someone fell into the closet. You okay? Okay. They must be okay. They're not crying. It is Friday. The kids just got done with schoolwork, so they're watching a little bit of YouTube as a reward.